for things to go live. Well, in case folks haven't noticed or haven't read the comments, parting is such sweet sorrow. That's your peace sign. What was the other one?
Peace, cut, and end.
Cut and end. Yes. Well, today is our final Ask Us Anything. Our millions of fans are probably wondering, like, what is up? Why is this the last one? So I thought, I'm a little subdued today because I'm feeling a bit under the weather.
Yes, you would have to be sitting where we are,
yes,
so that you can see that
the weather is very weird today. Like the sky, it's cloudy.
There is no sky.
There is no sky. It's fully cloudy, but the clouds are like this weird shade of like pink, and not like the beautiful sunset kind of pink or sunrise kind of pink. Just like this weird
is that
soap scum pink. Lovely. It's just weird. Actually, it's not like white or gray.
Actually, if you were to look outside, it kind of will remind you of the movie The Shining.
Okay, I remember seeing that a long time ago when I was too young to be watching horror movies, and I was traumatized for the longest time. Like that hotel and the kid riding the tricycle down the hallway.
Here's Johnny.
Yeah, no, scary.
That's what that is.
So that's what it's like today. So I'm a little under the weather. The weather's also a little under. And Paul and I, we got to chatting a little bit today. And we had a bit of a come to Jesus moment. And hey, Emily, good to see you. And good to see you for the last time. And yeah, actually we realized like we started this in September as an experiment to see like what we could do and what we would talk about. And we've pretty much like extended that experiment.
Our invitation.
But we really don't know why.
We extended the invitation. It's like everything. There's actually only beginnings in life. There are no ends.
Yes. And as nice as a point that is, I think what I'm about to say underlines is that we really didn't like, and when I say we, I really mean me, because I just kind of like dragged him in and I was like, oh, you're interested in affiliate marketing? Join me on the show. But I really didn't establish a why in terms of why I wanted to do this on a weekly basis. Why I wanted to have, an Ask Us Anything or a live program. And so now 4 months later, I think you were asking me, why am I doing this? And I was sort of like, I'm not really sure why. There were some sort of like loose ideas there, and which I have been able to enact. Or act upon. So I've actually reached out to many of you people who joined us for the first time through direct message, which I felt like this was a great vehicle to sort of get us to know each other right off the bat and then be able to chat with each other. And so from having a reason to direct message somebody and having a good reason and a compelling reason, it was a success. But do I really need to do that every Saturday? I don't know.
Well, not only is it every Saturday, it's also taking into consideration the schedule.
Yeah.
We're obviously in a different time zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so the time zones that
Emily's in our time zone.
Emily is in our time zone.
Yeah, but that's probably why she shows up relatively regularly.
So it's a bit difficult if you're developing an audience
mm-hmm.
With the time slot that we're in,
mm-hmm.
and what it is that we were looking at and focus, and so we're regrouping.
We are regrouping. And actually, speaking about the time zone, since we're bringing it up, and I do want to still be able, and I think we will come up with some way of sharing value in some kind of, video fashion. We just don't really know what that's going to look like at this stage. Maybe you have a better idea than I do. But that comes to the point about time and timing. And I'm very protective of my calendar because I know how quickly my freelance writing can fill up my calendar. And so, I have to be extremely strict about how my weekends plan out, and also my capacities when I'm sort of not firing on all cylinders in my evenings or very early mornings. So I like this time of day on a Saturday, but again, most of my readers, most of my friends, they're back in North America. So
when you decided to
they're
include
asleep.
me in this picture,
I
we
didn't
wanted
really
it.
know.
We wanted it to do it, or you wanted it to do it for a month, and it's been longer than a month.
Yeah, it's been like 4.
Okay, well,
Thank
there
you.
it is. You're welcome.
September, October, November. Oh, I guess we've gone on 5 with a small break over Christmas.
And in looking at it, we got to see, probably in the first month, but we continue, where we are today. And so today we want to be, now we want to be somewhere else.
Yeah, well, actually, when I look back, I can actually see that there has been a huge evolution. I mean, there's been a huge evolution on your part. I mean, really, like at first he was just kind of like a clueless, guest on my show. And then he became the show. And then he ended up like creating a show all his own on the side. So I don't know if you know this, but if you're following Paul on Facebook, he has an interview series that he's been doing with folks in the food and beverage industry. So he's really sort of like galloped forth because, we've got lockdown and you've really been able to sort of switch hats completely. You've removed your chapeau and...
Well, I'm a chef. I cook, and I want to trade the cooking into the living rooms of our audience, of our guests. So instead of cooking at a restaurant, I want to cook in your kitchen, and let you be the celebrity in the kitchen. So invite me over. And I'll, wherever you are, and I'll come and visit.
Yep. So there we go. Yeah, so that's what you've been doing, but you've been also getting down and dirty with editing software and just using a lot of the tools of the trade.
Everything that comes in with videography. Production, directing, post-production.
You've also been a casting director and a scheduler. You had to learn time zones. So yeah, I mean, in that respect, like you've been able to sort of like take leaps and bounds, and I can actually see that there's like a direct correlation between your feeling free with your calendar and your schedule and myself being kind of restrictive with, when I can do certain things and when I'll allow myself to do certain things. So, and I think I allowed that overprotectiveness of my calendar to get in the way of creativity.
Well, the thing about anything that we do, the moment we follow a pattern, there's no more creativity.
Yeah.
And so, the ending of the show for me is a new beginning into something else. There is no new direction. It's just completely new. There is not a morsel, or there is not a dust of what's old. It will be completely new in the direction that perhaps we're moving in.
Yeah.
We can't introduce the past.
I mean, that was something I struggled with when I was in the restaurant with you, because there was a time about a year and a half in where I realized, like, this is it. This is like my job for life. And it felt like this thing that I did without an end. And I realized, like, I had kind of started it thinking it was a project, but then not knowing that there was an end date. And that kind of put me in a bit of a bit of a panic. So I think in the future, should I launch another Ask Us Anything or live series, it would probably be like a 1 month stint. It's going to be 4 episodes, and that's what I will commit to. And then maybe I take like, another 4-week break or something, and then do another project that has, its own beginning, middle, and end, and just kind of like have that space in between projects to regroup, analyze like what I didn't enjoy so much, what I would like to, explore more, things like that. So it was getting a little difficult for me to come up with like new and fresh topics every week on Ask Us Anything. And yeah, it just, to me, it seemed like there wasn't enough of a framework. And I do well with frameworks. I mean, we had a come to Jesus moment, I think I mentioned earlier today. And I basically broke down and I was like, I'm a writer. Like, I don't even know why I, wanted to be on video or, wanted to do this live video thing. And I'm not like particularly uncomfortable in front of the camera, but I'm also not particularly comfortable in front of the camera.
Well,
so
one of the things about it is this, that the coming to Jesus. Obviously, for those of you who don't know it, I own a restaurant called Jesus Rice. So it's
right.
Coming to Jesus.
Come to Jesus Rice.
And that is that the machine that's watching us, us watching the machine,
Mm-hmm.
is entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And that this beast, if you will, is entertainment. And to have a discussion on a forum like this, as Ask Us Anything, there has to be an element of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because no one is going to ask.
Basically, he's trying to be nice and say, like, this hasn't been fun for him. and well, you've been having fun doing what you've been doing.
No. If it's not fun for me, it's not fun for the audience.
Right. I fully agree.
So when one looks at it, of the Ask Us Anything, or for anyone who's listening out there, to do a talk show or a podcasting, you have to have a forum. But in podcasting, you're not seen, you're heard.
It's also they're usually pre-recorded.
Yes, pre-recorded, the whole everything, but you're not really.
And they're also not open-ended, and that's kind of like, this is where I understand about story and storytelling as a writer. Like, there needs to be a structure, there needs to be like a format to the show. And I basically made myself open to people having questions. And last week I actually had a question that I could address for also one of my followers, which was great. But it's sort of like, I can't sort of go forth and make up questions for people that they're not interested in, right? So like, that's not entertaining for people to like hear me answer questions that they haven't asked me. And so, it's sort of like, I wouldn't go into Facebook to listen to Cynthia tell me things that I didn't ask her to tell me. So I fully appreciate and acknowledge that, like, this format, at least it didn't work for me. I do understand it's been successful for some other people, but I've also been told that, like, well, it's hard teaching.
Well, it's like a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
currently everything is virtual.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty much, let's just say everything is virtual.
In our coronavirus reality, it's like.
And so how much of this can you stand when you're in your office and blah,
or
blah,
in your
blah.
house.
Or in your house, that's right.
And you're getting it all on screen.
And there are 4 different people. And all you can think of is, pass me the Courvoisier.
The Corona.
You know, so I mean, and then we leave this and we can't go out in Switzerland. You can't go out. All bars and restaurants are closed.
Everything's
also
closed.
Just to let you know, they're not friendly. But other than that, you can't go out and grab a cup of coffee, grab a glass of wine, a glass of champagne. So that element is gone. And so to do this, and then we have obviously the social media, which we have to keep up, whether it be the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter.
Well, I think
LinkedIn and
you know, social media is one thing when you can go out and be social in a person-to-person context. But social media is another thing when it is the only way that you can interact with people.
This is social media.
And it's and that's a shame in a way as well. So I don't know. But in any case, this is our final farewell. Do you have any parting comments or parting thoughts?
Yes, I do. Stay tuned for Lunatic in the Kitchen.
Yeah, well, first of all, friend him because you're posting things on your Facebook profile. So just friend him at Paul Luna.
Stay tuned for Lunatic in the Kitchen. Mm-hmm. Stay tuned if you want to participate to F&B Lunacy. Mm-hmm. And stay tuned to Lunacy TV. Mm-hmm.
Told you he has a lot of projects going.
And you will see what's going on in the world of
Paul Luna.
Paul Luna. Mm-hmm. So
parting is such sweet sorrow. Thank you very much, Emily, for joining us.
Thank you, Emily.
And until next time, until we meet again. Oh, they do have a lovely saying in the German language, which is, you never say goodbye, only once. So
Auf Deutsch, it's...
I couldn't say it. I'll ask somebody who speaks German to say what the expression is. But that's what it means. You never say goodbye, only once. And I
no decimos adiós
una vez.
Solamente una vez. Adiós.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
No, but you have to, really like look at it, in all